Now we have the brush ready, it is time to make our seamless texture. Please keep a few things in mind when you are going to make a seamless texture, and one of them is work in a big file. A file 2048 by 2048 might be far too big to use as a pattern file in your templates, but to make a new texture you need to have all the control you can have, and the bigger your file is, the more sharp the lines will be. The other thing is use as many layers as possible. If you have everything on separate layers, you can twist them and remove them and scale them and recolor them, etc., etc. So use as many layers as possible. Okay, let's start. Choose File, New Image, and make the image 2048 by 2048. We start out with filling the background layer. We use the paint bucket tool, and we can use a different color here. If we go to here and say, well, I want some kind of bluish color to start out, a nice light blue color. Okay, I will use this as a background. Then I create a new layer, and on top of that layer I'm going to make my flowers. So I hit my brush tool, I select the flower brush that I had imported there, and I want to use the white color. So with X I will change that to the foreground. To make this to a nice lively texture, I want a few more settings to this brush. You can find your brush window under Windows and then Brush, or hit F5 or click this one, and here you will see some other settings that we can change. Let's go to the shape dynamics. If I click it, I can see size jitter. That means that there is going to be a randomness in the size. Yes, I want that, and I want all the controls off. You could use your wheel, your stylus wheel, but I want it, for this time I want it all off. I want the minimum diameter to be either 25% or something like that. Yes, an angle jitter where it goes randomly, will change randomly the angle. I would want that too. Yes, make it 100% and no control. I don't want any roundness jitter because I want it to be as round as it is now. Those for the shape dynamics. Now go to the transfer, and there we have opacity jitter, and that I want too. I want the opacity jitter to, let's say, 75% and without any control. Now we're going to fill a diamond-shaped form like this in this texture on my new transparent layer, and I do that by just randomly click and see what the flowers will do. I can do that. If you have like this a flower that you don't like, just Ctrl Z, make it, undo it, and try it again, and the next one may be a bit better. Like this one is too big to my taste, and this one is better. It is not very, it doesn't have to be very precise, this diamond shaped, but it should be diamond shaped, and this one here in the corner is over the edge. I wouldn't want it to be over the edge, so I have to take it away, because now I see it and now I can repair it. I use the eraser tool to take it away, and I replace it by a new one. Oh, that one is too big as well, and that one is much better. There we go. So don't make it go over the edges. Now this is nice, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to duplicate this layer there, and I'm going to use this top layer to fill the empty edges, and I do that by using Offset. I go to Filter, Other, Offset, And since it is 2048 by 2048, I want the offset to be 1024 by 1024, which is exactly half of the image. So yes, I make sure that wraparound is clicked and I say OK. Now here is my texture, the texture that I want to use. Listen, if you don't like it, you just start all over again. It is absolutely 100% seamless texture. All we have to do now is to scale it down, image size, and size down to 512 by 512. Use sharper for the reduction, say OK. And now we can put this texture as a pattern. And we do that by saying edit, define pattern. We don't care what it is called. We don't need a name for it. So that is fine. OK. We can make another background by creating a new layer and use the bucket fill tool, and instead of the blue one, choose, for instance, a pinkish one. Well, this one is nice, and I say OK, and I fill that layer, and now I've got a pink one, and I can say edit, define pattern, and say OK. And now I've got two patterns, two seamless patterns ready for use.